what is going to happen to the greater Seattle real estate market for the remainder of 2022 and what is likely to happen in 2023. Well, that is exactly what today's video is about. Now, I have to apologize because I'm recovering from a cold, but the content is still great, so let's get right into it. Bring up the topic of real estate, and most people do have an opinion. Now, when it comes to predicting the future of the housing market, it's tricky and downright speculative. But to make any sense of it, it's best to take a good look at the current data, examine history, and then make an educated interpretation of what's likely to happen. As a broad stroke statement, there are only three things that could happen. Number one, home values will remain strong, maybe even go up. Two, home values will stay relatively flat. Or three, home values will go down. Now let's talk about each one of these. There is a good case for those who believe that the Seattle area real estate values are going to go down in the near future. In fact, values have already slid about 7 to 10% off their high earlier this year. When real estate values went up 50%, and in some cases even more than that, in just 3 years' time, that's unsustainable. Another reason why some housing experts believe housing prices are headed downward is because we are either in or headed towards a recession. Now, when we're in a recession, this is a time of uncertainty and fear in the market. It's no secret, housing has become really unaffordable for many buyers. On top of this, higher interest rates and inflation have become a major budgetary constraint. In plain English, this sucks for a lot of people. Now, let's look at why some housing experts believe housing prices will remain strong. First, it's because we still have low inventory. Sure, we had much lower inventory just 6 months ago and last year. That being said, even though we've had a bump up in inventory, we still don't have enough housing. And when I say we don't have enough housing, I'm talking about both rentals and owned property. Also, while home prices and rates are much higher, there are still a lot of people who make a ton of money and can still afford a home. Keep in mind where we live and our strong economy. We have some of the highest income earners in America. Another reason why some people say values won't dip is because of inflation. Yes, inflation can be good for homeowners. As the prices of goods and services go up across the board, home values tend to do the same thing during times of inflation. As mentioned before, there is also the viewpoint that housing could stay relatively flat and not make any significant moves up or down. This opinion takes the two opposing forces, meaning the pressures that move home values higher and the pressures that suppress the prices, and then they kind of equal themselves out to more or less a flat market. I'll tell you what my humble opinion is, but first I'd like to hear from you. In the comments below, do you think that Seattle area real estate is going down, up, or going to stay the same for the rest of 2022 and 2023? Here's my take. I think our market is going to continue to soften a bit more. I think a soft housing correction will continue. Let me repeat, a soft housing correction, not a crash. In other words, in my crystal ball, and take this with a grain of salt, we'll probably see prices slide another 5 to 7% in the next 3 to 6 months. But for all the reasons mentioned earlier, the market could level off or even start going back up again next year. For instance, if in an effort to combat the recession and stimulate the economy, the Feds decide to lower interest rates next year to below 4.5% and the job market is relatively decent, then yeah, real estate values could go back up again. Bottom line, in this rapidly changing and uncertain world, there are so many variables. Seattle, Bellevue, and the surrounding areas have a fluid and constantly changing housing market. Nobody can pinpoint what home values will do in the future, except for me. See that big smile on my face? In case you can't tell, I'm kidding. But what I'm not kidding about is that you really should click that like and subscribe button if you want to stay in the know. Please reach out with your specific real estate needs. Our contact information is down below. Thanks, over and out.